What if I told you sometimes when you're going through your darkest moments is when you're actually about to manifest all the things that you really want? Hey, Jason here. You've been watching the channel. You've been seeing me. Now I'm 9 years in this expat game. I am on my fourth country, third continent. I am in Lusaka, Zambia, on the continent of Africa. And one of the things I started doing was just shedding some of the layers, letting you understand who I am, how what I've learned on this expat journey. Because over the 9 years, it's been turbulent sometimes. Not gonna lie to you, but most importantly, if you're looking to become an expat, just sharing with you things that could help it make it easier for you, so you can transition and don't have to make those mistakes that I made. Now, today's video, we're actually going to be talking more about mental health. Um, in case you're new to the channel, I am a disabled military veteran. People don't know that I am technically, actually, legally disabled from the United States government from my time in the military service. And I did actually participate in the Iraq War. I was in Baghdad, Iraq. And so one of the things that's really, really dear to me is mental health. And the reason why I said it is the person you see talking to you today is not the person I was when I came back from war. And that person was angry. That person was full of hate. That person was hurt. He was hurting a lot. Like, he was in physical pain each and every day. Um, and for me to become the person I am now, it wasn't an overnight success. And it sure as hell wasn't just popping a pill and everything's feeling okay. And I'm grateful to my late wife, Cece, because her doing her PhD program on acceptance commitment therapy, and then she taught me the modality. We just tested it on me, like, hey, this is going to really work. Let's see if it works. And it did work. I'm a functioning person in society. I'm pretty cool now. I still have times where I lose my temper, but I'm still working on that. That's the parts of emotional intelligence where you start learning how not to react as much, and you start becoming more responsive. And so those are things I'm working on. But also, one of the things that I've seen while I've been working on these is like, when are things literally starting to manifest for you? Now, if you've read the Law of Attraction books or seen the movie The Secret or read The Secret, it always talk about there's this waiting stage. You sow the seeds, then you wait, and then you reap the results. But I think one of the things that people are not talking about is when you're waiting, when you're in that gestation period, waiting for the seeds to plant their roots and stable their base, and then they're starting to grow up over the ground and fruit so you can collect that reward. You're usually going through something. That's the key. And I don't think this is talked about enough. And I think this is why a lot of people are having issues with law of attraction. And then some, when they're like, man, it was so close, it felt like it was there, then this happened. Well, if it was almost there and you was that close, there's a learning lesson from whatever that is that happened to you. And you have to figure that out. And I think this is the thing that people are not teaching correctly with law of attraction is you have to figure certain things out. Everything isn't just a literal, oh, this is Murphy's law. Oh, this is the universe testing. No, you need to start understanding what are those things. Why are you going through that? And think about it. Because probably when you first asked for what you asked for, you didn't ask for it in a way that you wouldn't go through the things you were going through. So give you a prime example. So for me, I've been studying under Grant Cardone for probably about a good 8 years now. I've been out going to all his different virtual seminars, everything he had going on during COVID. I was a part of it. I'm even investing in Cardone Capital, a very small percentage, but I plan on getting it bigger. And so, like, I wanted to really get into real estate development because I think it's a beautiful thing. Like, I love the idea of being able to house people. However, doing it in the United States, it wasn't physically possible. I didn't have the money to get into that game. And So what I kept doing, I was just like, okay, maybe somehow I'm going to become an investor somehow, someday. And I didn't know when I was putting all of that energy into the vortex, and doing all the prayers, telling God, this is what I want. I want to be this billionaire real estate development tycoon. I want to be able to provide this many housing for people. When I was playing my not cash flow board game, but Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow, get out the rat race. I used to always buy the apartment buildings, naming the apartment towers and stuff like that. I was really focused on visualizing it. And now, fast forward 3 years later, it's starting to come into fruition. And some people may be like, man, you have to wait 3 years for that. But yo, I'm just like, man, it just took 3 years. And like, look at the opportunity I'm in now. And it didn't just go to me going from cash flow to coming to Africa, finding Zambia. No, it took some headache. It took some heartbreak in me. Finding out I couldn't get residency in South Africa, that hurt. I really built genuine connections and friendships there. And I really do love the place. Then going to Botswana, not being able to get the visa. Technically, I don't even know if I got approved because I had to leave the country. And then, you got to change phone numbers for the new country in. So, I don't even know if I have a Botswana residency. One day I'm going to go back and just check and see. But right now, it's just not even important. And so now, fast forward, I'm in Zambia. And when I first got here, getting the residency, doing all of that, and, renting a place, finding that house turned out with some issues, then finding another place last minute. And fast forward 9 months later from when I first got here, I now have three pieces well, I'm working on my third piece of property. I have two pieces of property. One's a farm, 20 hectares, and the other one is strictly just for residential development, where I will be developing my tiny home concept that I feel is a really great thing for providing low-cost housing at an upscale level within Zambia. And I think it's something that people are going to really catch on to because just like this house here that I'm in, I've been just calculating my steps and just looking, and I'm like, yo, this is a lot of wasted space. I actually do not need all of this space that's in here. And it's like, if part of this part of the house wasn't even on here, I could have this here, this there. I can have all of this backyard and a garden here, and maybe a hot tub here. I'm really seeing what is the space that I want. And I'm noticing I don't need the 2-bedroom house. As a single guy, I don't have kids yet. I'm not getting married again. I don't need spaces these big. Maybe there'll come a day I will, but when that day comes, I start looking for it. And I think a lot of people are in the same boat. So many people that's happened to cohabitate together. I'm sorry, if you're 25 and up, you ain't trying to really be having roommates, even if it's family. And I don't care how traditional you are, let's just be real here. Sometimes you just want your own private space. You see me, I'm here right now, no shirt on because it's burning up high. I'm just grateful there's still electricity right now, so I'm cooling off with the fan. But when you got a lot of family or you got a roommate over, you can't just be as comfortable as you want. And I feel like everybody should have that opportunity. And one of the ways of doing it is providing low-cost housing by building tiny homes. I think it's going to be the housing development of the future with the way the housing market is going all over the world. It's getting too expensive. I'm just being honest with you. It's too expensive to rent now. And it's making it too affordable for people that are in their respective countries. And so you got to look at those things. And so how did I see or start to realize some of the signs of where I'm at now is exactly where I'm supposed to be, you might be asking. And one of them is, believe it or not, is lizards. There's tons and tons of lizards here. And it's funny because when I first got here, they stay away. They wouldn't even come up to the porch, nothing. Now they're slowly getting closer and closer to me. They're looking at me, studying me, trying to see who is this dude? He doesn't eat meat. He's doing this. It's really interesting. But the reason why I know that about the lizards is before I even left the United States, my brother, the mycologist intuitive, and check him out on TikTok and here on YouTube also. He does my tarot readings for me, and the tarot reading was the King of Wands. And one of the things on that card was there was the lizards all over the place, and it's the exact type of lizards that's here, which is funny. And mind you, by the time I had that tarot reading, Zambia, I didn't even know Zambia was a country. I'll be honest with you, I did not know because I wasn't never someone who studied Africa like that. I just was being ignorant and believing what the media was telling me. But that was one of the things, like just seeing that. The second thing that started really revealing it to me was it was starting to give me deja vu moments. Like whenever you start having deja vu moments, like you've done this before, or something's reminding you of something that you've done before, like it's letting you know it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And so, like here, it's very, very much reminiscent of Panama. Even almost the house layout is about the same as the house we were living in almost, except we had an open kitchen design. The kitchen in the living room was open. But other than that, most of it is about the same. Two bedroom, no, I'm sorry, two bathrooms at the backyard, front yard, not having a private fence. Also, like just the weather is similar, like how it's been so hot. It's supposed to be a rainy season, the bugs, because we had a bunch of wildlife problems in Panama with snakes and bats getting in the house. And here it's like some huge spiders, and then you get all these water bugs and crazy things. And so, like, it's giving me like a lot of deja vu moments being here. Even sometime when I'm just, in a Yango going to the store or something, there's certain things that remind me about Panama, like Kamwala Market, some of the places down in CBD. Uh, and so, like, I've just really been focusing on these things a lot for these past few weeks. But then the last thing was like after my mom came to visit, it reignited that part of me that was missing since Panama, Colombia, after Cece passed, and that was like my passion for just really cooking and being healthy. And what I mean by that is like, and most people would agree with this, like I started questioning a lot of myself from a mortality standpoint after Cece passed because even though the things that her and I would talk about as far as longevity, mortality, and how long we want to live and things, I was happy with being able to grow old with her. And when she passed away, transition, like I like to really call it, it was as if a part of me left also. And so like I've been really trying to discover that part of me. And as you can see, physically, I let myself go. I just stopped being as healthy. I stopped caring about as much as I was eating healthy. I stopped being as active as I was. And so, like, when I went to see my mom and, like, re-energize that, like, it was good to cook for her every day. It was good to get back to making smoothies. And it got me back in the routine of doing that now. And that's why I even did the duck plant to do the detox. And like now I feel from a feeling because when you really want to understand if you're getting there in the law of attraction, it's a feeling, it's emotional, it's a spiritual vibrational thing that you have to just come to understand part of you. I'm just being honest with you. You have to really get in touch with who you are and understand you to get your vibration. Um, and for me, it's like I know it's coming. Like I know the next 2 years is going to be probably the craziest transition years of my life as I go up levels that I never even thought was possible when I was a kid growing up. And I just wanted to share that because, like, I know a lot of times I hear a lot of people tell me their stories, and a lot of people end up quitting because they're going through some things that may seem bad. Like even right now, like things aren't perfect in example. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was funny because like the last 2 months was having issues on the farmland, and I was just like, look, if God don't want me to have that farm, by all means, whatever's going down, they can keep the farm. Like I'm not gonna fight it. I'm not gonna lose my composure, go crazy. And I was like, I have this land here. I'm finna start developing. I'm not even finna get upset. And not only did the issues with the farm work themselves out, but most importantly, I ended up coming across some other land that I'm about to get in the Lundazi area, and it's getting this from the council, city council. And so it shows you like sometimes when it feel like life is trying to really test you and hit you hard, it's really just preparing. And you just got to keep your attitude right and just keep focused on what you want. And it's going to come to you. I'm going to be doing more videos of these, and I'm going to do some videos breaking down law of attraction mixed with quantum physics and things like that. Because I don't think a lot of people realize how much theology, science, and spirituality are now so interlinked. And it's really teaching us how we can start really creating the world that we want for our individual selves. But it's just key little things. I don't know if people are just not, the people who are teaching it are just not realizing they're getting it out. They're not putting it out there at a level to where people can understand it better. Because sometimes when you have specialized information and things, you speak from a knowing point of view and not from a teaching point of view. Or some people are just doing this because they leaving it out because it's a money game for them. I'm gonna be honest with you, like everybody ain't doing stuff for the kindness of their hearts. I feel like there's a way to do things out of the kindness of your heart, and money's gonna come to. I've been working a lot of years on my money mindset. Something I continue working on. Just to give you an example of what I use to work on it, I have a whole positive money affirmation playlist on YouTube. And sometimes when there's no electricity, like yesterday, there was no electricity for maybe 14, 16 hours. I just had it on repeat, playing over and over and over again all day. Didn't have electricity. I was hot. Had to cook on a little gas cylinder tank, burning up hot. Went to sleep hot. And you know what? It was still a good day. And I was just listening to money, went to sleep, fell asleep listening to money. I think I woke up around 1 in the morning, then just put on like a vibration frequency to go back to sleep. And that's it. I do a lot of those things. I don't talk about them a lot, but I'm gonna just start sharing more about those type of things I do because I feel the more we really address and break down not only law of attraction but mental health, because mental health has been now sent to some like demonic universe where if someone be like, "Oh, you got mental health problems," it's an insult. And the truth is, we all have mental health problems. If you're not getting everything that you want, all your blessings, it means mentally you're thinking unhealthy. There's something you're doing unhealthy with your mental thinking. And I still do it to this day. And when I tell you, I'm shocked. I'm gonna see if I can just hear you. You can just hear me from here. That's a good test of this thing. So I'll tell you, like, I'm just shocked sometimes at the things the thoughts that come through my head, the self-deprecation that comes through. And I don't think a lot of people monitor their thoughts on a day-to-day basis like I do. And so just wanted to share that with you today. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Most importantly, just remember this. I'm Jason, and success is simple once you know how.